Okay, I think you're capable of challenging yourself more, but I don't think you're discouraged.
Number 4, right? If I'm correct.
Then maybe stay.
Is it number 4?
Better begin with a solid A when you're out. And bump yourself up. When you're trying to- Yeah, can you be smart about it? I'm going to, sweetheart, it's freezing. Freezing! Anytime? Anytime? Any day tomorrow after school? Go to that club, huh? Oh my goodness.
Oh, we pulling up snacks? I gotta do it now.
I am everybody's grandma.
Oh, don't worry. I'm also home.
I'll tell you the story about candy.
So what kind of candy you got?
I got clicks.
I hate you.
I went shopping on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, and I bought about $60 worth of candy. We've gone through our Jolly Ranchers, and in the back of my car are 4 bags of Nick's Halloween candy.
Deal.
And it's probably all chocolate, right?
Mixed,
Good
not
question.
all chocolate, there's gummy bears in there, and
Okay.
Twizzlers, and all kinds of things. Long story short, I got out of the car, this morning, walking in, got all the
And
way
you
into
forgot.
my classroom, and what did I forget?
Candy.
And I said to myself, I'm not walking back out there.
I'll do it. What car is yours?
I can do it.
Every
I'll sacrifice
class
myself to the
is
club.
volunteered, and I can't let you.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't, I'll
Why?
get into trouble.
Just give me a hall pass.
It's not that simple.
Yes,
That is.
No,
Do it.
it's not.
Wait, why
Give
we
me
do
the-
it?
Trust me.
Well,
Give me
practice
the
our fire
handwritten.
I had
IU.
to get special permission from the front office last year to
Call.
take a group of kids out to, you can live. I just have bags of Halloween candy
So,
in my car, which you're going to get, relax.
if I break into your car and just steal a bag, I'll just take the whole bag for myself. You know.
I'm debating whether or not I will dress up for Halloween.
I'm like,
Or wear something weird to school.
wait. Do we need to wear our costumes to school if it's appropriate and like?
I don't know.
Because if you do, I'm gonna be in a giant shark inflatable costume.
Oh, boy.
I'll let you
I was
know.
thinking
Or carry the
about,
flying
would you mind
No,
me
I
if
was
I
thinking
wore
about
a
reading.
costume? I mean, you wouldn't mind me, would you?
No.
Just a idiot and rainbow.
Holy camera.
Not gonna do it?
No, we're not gonna start.
You wouldn't even know what rambunctious means.
How? How do you know?
Because I
That's
can
my
tell by
dog's
the way
name.
you said it. And you're hoping it's not something bad. Think about a ram,
Yeah.
okay? Think of a ram button everything,
Yeah.
kicking up his back
Yeah.
legs and crap.
And disobedience.
What's that rambunctious?
You can wear a costume. We won't make fun of us.
Oh, yeah, you'll make fun of me.
No, I think I'll get made fun of because I'm in a giant shark inflatable costume.
I can handle being made fun of, I just
I
can't
don't-
handle
I have
people
one, but I'm not,
naughty.
small enough for it. It's recommended for
All right.
3.
We are going to work. While I take attendance, I want you to write the writing prompt, and it's an important one today. What event in your life has had the most impact on you? And I'm using one of your vocab words from yesterday, irrevocably changed your life. Now, if you're stuck and you're sitting there thinking, I live in Roseburg, nothing ever happens to me.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's public county.
Let me tell you, if you can't think of anything else, here is your backup plan. You had an irrevocable change in your life when you moved from middle school to high school. That is an event that has impacted you, hang on, and it's going to change who you are for the rest of your life. So if you can't think of anything else, if you don't have any other items that you can put
What if you're down?
for your writing prompt, then you wrote too fast,
Oh,
and you didn't
good.
say enough,
I mean,
okay? Because
I'm
if
not
you,
going with my life
if
story.
you say high school, you might wanna throw in a sentence or so how that changed you. I can give you some ideas. You went from little kid land to big kid land. You are on the first rung of the ladder towards adulthood. The days of your childhood, put another way, are numbered. There are not too many days of childhood left for you.
I haven't had a childhood since 6th grade.
So, there's some big changes. When you finish high school, you're gonna be launched into life, one way or another. So, there's lots you could say about that event. I would say for me, it wasn't going to high school, it was moving from country to country that irrevocably changed my life.
What country did you move from?
Well, I was born in India. My parents, yeah, really, my parents were missionaries and they were teachers. My mom was an English teacher and my dad's skill was starting schools or making schools become colleges. So he was in a college in India and my mom was a teacher there. And I was born at the beginning of monsoons when a scorpion bit my mom on the toe.
Uh-oh.
And scorpion toxin causes muscles to contract, which is how they kill their prey. And when you're a pregnant lady and you're bigger than an elephant and you're about to pop any minute and your muscles start contracting, well, then your alien creature comes out. And I was born and my family says I haven't shut up since.
That must have felt great.
And I lived there till I was 5. And then we went back to America, so my dad could get his master's degree. And then we went to Australia, and I lived in Australia for a number of years. And then my dad went back to America to get his doctorate, his PhD, and then we went back to Australia. And I did most of my high school in Australia, and then my parents decided to go back to India, of all places. And I pitched a fit. I pitched the most colossal fit you've ever seen a 17-year-old girl pitch. I did not want to go to India. I wanted to come back to America. No one in their right mind wants to spend their last year of high school in India. But they said, you don't have enough sense to go on your own to college. So you're going to India. And I made a deal with my dad. I said to him, because I had to take correspondence classes, which is like homeschool. Because where we were, there wasn't a place for me to go. So I said, if I finish all my classwork in the month of February, and I just goof off the rest of the year until college starts. And he thought, let him in, he thought, ain't no way this chick is gonna get all of her high school classes done in a month. Not possible. And so I showed him. I would get up at 6 and I would work for 10 hours. And guess what? I got better. And so for about 3 or 4 months, I just got to sit around and do nothing. But where I was, there was nothing to do anyway, so I ended up reading everything I could find. I read Shakespeare, I read Mark Manual for new doctors, because that's all there was. And as I went to college in Michigan, and now here I am. So I grew up in a map, bouncing around all over the place. That changed me. Growing up in other countries is a big deal. Moving is a big deal. If you've moved from one place to another, that's an irrevocable change. Yeah.
There's a bird in uniform.
Yeah, I know. I could have worn a bug, but I didn't want to frighten anybody.
I don't like bugs, they're pretty cool.
Well, I like them too.
Well,
Well, I'll tell you one more thing, and then I'm gonna make you work. When I was going to boarding school in India, there were things called rhinoceros beetles,
Yeah, they're pretty
and
big.
they're about this big,
Might eat
and
one.
they have pinchers that come out like that. And here's what we would do. We would wait till the mangoes, you know what a mango is? It's a kind of fruit. We would wait till they fell off the tree, we roll them like this on something hard to make them squishy. And then we put them in our windowsill so the sun would ferment the juice. And then we'd feed them to our beetles. And then we would have races and we would bet on whose rhino beetle was the fiercest.
Wow.
So you've got, rhino beetles wasted and then made them race?
Yep.
Wait, why did you know how to make that?
Oh, everybody knows how to do it.
Everybody?
Sure I did. Well, you surely taught me.
Anyway,
How long does it have to be for them?
Somebody would buy a mango.
no, I'll tell they sting.
So they stink?
Yeah,
Yup.
till they're a little bit rotten, and then you feed it to them. And the funniest part was I kept the carcasses of the rhino beetles.
Okay, that part's not bad.
No, but it's not done, and I packed them into my suitcase when I came home to college. This is in the sixties, when everybody under the age of 21 was suspected of doing drugs, remember? Oh, you weren't born, but.
You made things do drugs.
I wasn't, I didn't, I never have. But I had these big hollow beetles in my suitcase. And when I came through customs, the customs officials found them. And they thought I was trying to sneak in, God knows what, in the beetles. And so, it's neat, I'm gonna ignore it, okay? And I had to go stand over in the corner and answer a bunch of questions and get searched. That's all. Now I'm gonna go, you write your part.
For beetles.
I have told you enough stories about my strange, very strange childhood.
Same time tomorrow.
Huh?
You should tell us more tomorrow. That was pretty interesting.
Well, I do wanna talk to you about tomorrow and Monday. I will be gone
Please.
tomorrow. I have some doctor's appointments in Eugene. Okay?
Yeah, nothing to do
And
with it.
Monday, wait a sec, Monday I've decided to give you another catch-up day. And I'll tell you why. Your first grading period ends a week from Friday. And anything that we've done between the beginning of school and a week from Friday, you can't make up after that point. So I wanna catch everyone who has missing assignments, because this part of the quarter counts on your semester grade. It's not like middle school, where it starts over at the end of every quarter. It's not like that here. When you get to high school, what you do in September counts with what you do in January. And you don't start over again till second semester starts. Do you understand that? So if you have missing assignments now, and you don't make them up, they're gonna take you all the way through till the end of the semester. And after next week, I will not let you go back and make things up. So, you be checking Canvas, and here's how you do it. I keep stickies on my desk. You put your name on the top, and then you write down the name of every assignment you don't have grade for. And then you give it to me, and I find all those assignments and I staple them to your sticky. And then when you come to class, I plunk it down. All right? It's very important, guys, all jokes aside, and when he comes back, you need to encourage him to make up all his work.
You probably
Or
won't.
he is not doing well, all right?
Keeps, sleeping in, cause he keeps forgetting to turn on his alarm.
I think he's just turning it off.
Guys, whatever the case is, when he comes back, he's gonna need our support, because he's gonna have Buko to make up. And if he doesn't make it up, it's not gonna go well.
So,
Same for any of you. Memphis, I think you're in good shape from your COVID experiences. I think you made everything up. I think you're good. Braden, I think you're good.
No, I have tasted.
Okay? Dance, you need to check. I'm not sure about you. I
I
think you're good, but check. And you can always come grab a sticky, not the whole package, but grab a sticky off my desk and do that.
there's one assignment I turned in that has to be graded.
I know, there's a bunch of things and I'm gonna grade them over the weekend, probably try to put them in maybe Sunday. Yeah,
So what does it mean on this entwined vocabulary look or meaningful sentence? What do we write there? Just
a meaningful sentence is a sentence that's not garbage. Like if you say, I was entwined, grammatically speaking, that's not incorrect. But
That's not
it
really-
doesn't tell me that you know what entwined means. If you say, we were entwined, arms and legs wrapped around each other, that tells me what entwined means, okay? So that's a meaningful sentence, yeah. Huh? Bar? No, live with that. I gotta eat lunch too. All right, let me take attendance. You can have another kind. You can have this kind. Wasn't it, or don't your mama feed you?
Yes.
I like her that. She told me free most of it.
Just FYI, I do keep food in my room. People can't learn when their bellies are growling. And that includes me.
I can.
You can?
I have to.
All
I
right.
have a whole pantry of snacks I don't plan on eating I can bring.
I spoil all my students. It's my job. See that? The
My,
reasons I like my job, you're all
My
sitting in
cousin,
here.
my cousin Katrina said, I think she said she had you last year, but you didn't give out candy last year.
Who?
My cousin Katrina.
I did too.
She said that you did when she was in your class. and
Well,
lunch.
I always had a candy jar on my desk, always.
I guess she didn't like candy.
Maybe she just didn't like Jolly Ranchers. Trustin's not here. Jaden Campbell here. Draven's here. Grayson's here. Ebony Phelps. Guys, I don't even know if Ebony's a he or a she.
Who?
She.
It's a girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's COVID.
I've never seen her. Dance is here. Noah.
Not here.
That's why that row is quiet.
I know, right?
Angel.
Angel's here.
Jackson's not here. Mariah's not here. Andrew's here. Memphis here. Caden Auckland.
Here.
TJ. What? No TJ? I've been robbed. Ruby
Here.
is here. Rogan. Rogan, quit it.
Robert's not here.
Him.
Not here?
No.
Oh, he's right there.
Well, speak up, dude. You almost got Mark Tardy. Kale, over there popping his gums, right? Rafi's here, and that is that. Turn to page 208 in your textbook. And we will finish the story. And then you will have minutes to get your vocab done. We stop the story. Thank you. And do you have your name on it? On page 208, there was one sentence that I read you yesterday off of that page. And it said, in April 2011, the first body was discovered.
He's a murderer.
And here's where the story takes a twist. Russell Graymercy's widow had sold the lakeside cabin months earlier. In upstate New York, vacation homes that dock many lakes are called camps. The Graymercy camp, she with cedar clapboards, was small, only 16 by 24, and had a half loft. It had been in the family for generations. Russell Graymercy winterized the structure himself early in his marriage. What does winterize mean?
I don't know, but you have visitors. They dig in.
Shut up.
So we can go to this. So we have to get
Okay, well, this is not gonna be an efficient way to
Yeah.
do it.
Yes, yeah.
Why don't you sit down and make a list of the
I don't
assignments
want to sit down.
that you're missing, and then I can find them for you.
Okay. Now?
If you wish.
I'm not there you go. I'll wait till 6:30. Okay, bye.
All right, I was going to ask you guys that maybe know a little bit about building. What does it mean to winterize a cabin?
Like sit through the winter.
No. What does it mean to winterize a structure?
Make it
Dance.
snowproof.
Kinda.
It's more of the, like, it's an A-frame so the snow doesn't cave in.
Oh, yeah.
The
Okay.
roof.
Make it so that you can live in it year round,
Yeah.
all right? Would you open up your book, please, to 208?
Yeah, pay attention, Glenn.
Hey, get off this case.
I wasn't here when you said that.
Get off this case. Hey, answer.
What?
Pipe down.
Could be it.
208. And you could hear me better if you took your AirPod out. Hint, hint. He liked to go there to unwind, he said, to write academic articles and prepare lessons and presentations. Except for a week or two in the summer, when he was accompanied by his family, he went to the camp alone. The new owners had no interest in rustic simplicity or outdoor showers. Page 208?
Too late.
Yeah. An architect drew up plans for some garish monstrosity. It was a backhoe operator digging trenches for the mansion's new septic system that had uncovered skeleton. A rumor went around that the new owners, with visions of construction delays and permit problems, tried to talk to the construction workers out of reporting the discovery. I'm not sure I believe this. What is true is that they sued the Gramers family. Yes,
Could I have another fruit pie?
yes, that.
Jeez.
In the weeks after the grisly find, the police dug up 8 other corpses. All but one were identified, and I can reel off the names by memory. I find it ineffably sad. Okay, look over there, that's an adverb, and it means indescribable. If it's ineffably sad, you cannot describe it. That the 9th victim could not be named, and nobody in his short life felt connected enough to report him missing. There were 8 male victims and 1 female. 4 of them were runaways. 2 were thought to have been hitchhiking, a boyfriend and a girlfriend, who had been on their way to a bluegrass festival. 1 was reported to have been a male hustler at truck stops, though his parents vehemently denied it. But one of the victims had also been a National Merit Scholarship winner, so there didn't really seem to be a pattern, except the youth they had all shared. Now, who do you think was committing murders?
The guy that's dead, the one that got ran over.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dead.
Forensics teams found traces of dried blood inside the cabin. Most of it was too degraded, but one sample proved a DNA match with one of the victims. I've heard that incriminating and very disturbing photos were found, though I don't know for a fact that they exist. But other objects that had belonged to the victims were discovered in a hiding place in the cabin. The conclusions were inescapable, and a grand jury agreed. The victims had all been murdered by Russell Gramercy. They had been murdered by Russ, by Professor G, by the man I had killed, if you recall. On the hottest day of the following summer, my phone rang just as I was about to go to work. Hi, this is Daria Gramercy. Do you remember me? Startled, I replied. Yes, I remember. Your parents gave me your number. I hope I'm not disturbing you, she said uncertainly. No, you're not. I'd like, if I can get this thing, to talk with you about the accident and everything. If you don't mind, I'd prefer in person. But if you would rather, we could do it over the phone. I have been hoping for and dreading this call for decades. We made plans to meet at a coffee house around the corner from the Midtown Hotel. Daria had changed from the sexy teenager I had encountered briefly one fateful day. She had gained considerable weight. I saw as she entered the Starbucks, and her hair was cut in an unflattering style and frizzy from the equatorial humidity that day. Immediately I felt guilty and somehow disloyal for forming these unkind impressions. Given what she'd been through, it was an achievement just to be walking around at all. I searched her eyes for anger or recrimination. My entire body seemed clenched with tensions. Thanks for seeing me, Daria said, shaking my hand and sitting down. She took a deep breath and seemed set to start a prepared talk. I want to apologize to you, I interrupted. I never did back then. You sent a sympathy card, she replied noncommittally. I wanted to visit your family, but our legal advisors told us not to. They were afraid of liability. There's your next word. That's legal responsibility. Legal advisors? Some insurance company guy, and my father's fraternity brother, who was the family lawyer. She nodded. I understand. I wanted to, I repeated, protesting too much. Then I blurted out, actually that's not accurate. I was dreading the visit. There was nothing I wanted to do less. When my father told me we couldn't, it was like I had been given a reprieve. Daria gave a knowing sigh. Believe me, I understand how you felt. And then I let everything out. I told Daria exactly what I remembered. Everything. My inattention, the lies about my actual speed, my creepy, lascivious stares as she comforted her dying father. I'm not a Catholic, but I imagine it was like the sacrament of confession. I'm just so very, very sorry, I ended. And then to my horror, but yet relief, for the first time since the accident, I broke down and cried. She gave me a few moments, then said, it wasn't your fault. Even with everything you've told me, there was nothing you could have done to prevent it. You didn't have time to react. I understand that. Daria handed me the tissue. When I had regained my composure, she gave me a rueful smile and said, well, you've sort of stolen my thunder. The reason I'm here is to apologize to you. Daria had been going to the families of all her father's known victims and asking forgiveness. From how she described it, it sounded a bit like making amends in a 12-step program. After I had seen all the victims' families, I knew I also needed to talk with you. My father caused so much pain and horror. If I can do anything to lessen that legacy, then I want to. We talked for a while. For years, I had imagined just this, I told her. In my daydreams, I had talked with her. I had explained I had been suckered and comforted. And remarkably, something like those fantasies had just happened. Near the end of our conversation, I asked, how is your brother Chris? She was momentarily taken aback. Oh, I thought you knew, Daria said uncomfortably. Chris died in 2004. I am so sorry, I replied, mortified. How? A traffic accident. I flinched. He was living in Arizona. It was a one-car accident late at night. Alcohol was involved. I must have seemed shaken. It had nothing to do with you, Douglas said. Believe me, if you're tempted to see this as some sort of delayed collateral damage from what you did, don't. My brother had his own demons. We were silent a moment. Then I said, I went to the memorial service for your dad at Halma. The one speaker I remember most was a former student who your father helped become a doctor. And what he said was that our lives are inexplicably entwined, that many of the good things that the doctor had done could be added up in your father's column in this sort of cosmic ledger. I thought about that when I heard about the incidents. You thought that by killing my dad, she said gently, even though inadvertently, you had saved other young people from being brutally slaughtered. Let's call it what it is. Once again, it's not something I'm real proud of, but yes, I understand more completely than you'll ever know. And I think you're right. I think what happened that day did spare others from my father's evil. We stared at one another for a moment, then she stood. There ensued one of the most awkward hugs in the history of farewells. Then she went out into the street and disappeared. Now you think that's the ending, right? There's another twist coming.
Yeah, I found it out already.
I discovered the tape by a fluke. For the first time in years, I returned to Vermont. A cousin was getting married. At the rehearsal party at my aunt's house, a bunch of my younger cousins were watching videos of their childhood in the family room. I was barely paying attention. The charms of children mugging for the camera is quickly lost if you're not the one doing the mugging. Oh, let me show you this one of Barry playing soccer. The brother of the groom said to the bride. He falls right on his face. Suddenly my aunt strode into the room from the kitchen and said, Tim, that's enough of the videos. Her tone was brusque. Tim seemed confused. What? Flustered, my aunt said more insistently, I asked you to do something. Turn off the TV. Not all of our guests may be as enthralled as you. Her last words seemed to have some special meaning, one that her son belatedly understood. Okay, Mom, sorry. He darted a glance my way, and looked away, embarrassed. It was only an hour later that it clicked. I took my aunt aside and asked, that videotape of Barry playing soccer, it was taken that day, wasn't it? Pain, she sighed. I'm sorry, Tim just wasn't thinking. I could smack him sometimes. I'm not upset, I assured her, but I'd like to see that tape. Not now, not this weekend. I returned to New York with the DVD transfer of the VHS tape. It was in my DVD player even before I had taken off my coat. 7-year-olds were playing soccer. Way to go, Kyle! Way to go! Some woman keeps calling out. Another faint but discernible conversation is a woman telling a friend about what a jerk her boss is, and then a small thump. The tinny sound of screeching brakes. Oh my God, did you see that? The first time I watched the tape, I didn't really notice the accident at all. But on the second, I could see the tiny figures in the upper left corner of the frame. Pedestrians walking, a hazy blue car approaching. Then one of those figures flying high into the air over the car. One detail, however, didn't quite fit. Obsessively, I watched the tape over and over. At times my face just inches from the screen. And every time I thought I saw that troubling blur. You can find almost anything over the internet. 2 days later, I was in Irving Beckstein's workshop in Astoria, Queens. Beckstein is a forensic video analyzer. Do you know what a forensic video analyst is? Guess.
They just watch it for legal reasons.
Yeah, they pick a video apart. Common videos can be much more, there's much more to see in them than we think. And people with the right skills know how to pull that up, right?
Yeah.
They can go into it, enlarge it, turn it, do all kinds of things.
Put on giant screens.
So, yeah, he wants to see what's causing the blur that he saw. Yeah, hand up or just scratch it. Beckstein is the former video analyst. He has worked for the Defense Department and often testifies as an expert witness at trials. Beckstein had cropped and blown up the footage of the accident. Forget what you see on TV. Our software can't miraculously sharpen an image so it looks like a 35mm movie, but we can do quite a bit. He went on to explain what he had done. His words seemed well burnished, as if he had given them many times in front of juries. And he played the images for me on a large 60-inch monitor. Though heavily pixelated, it showed Chris Gramercy shoving his father into the path of my oncoming car. Why would he do a thing like that? Why would his son kill his own dad?
You don't like them.
Memphis?
Maybe because he knew that his dad killed all those people.
Could be.
Or like, yeah.
Could be. Over the years, I've attended a number of support groups. Most of the people there are like me, someone who has caused a fatal accident. Most have not been charged because it was determined they were not at fault, that it was all a tragic accident. A few of the group members had slightly different stories. One was a police officer who had been involved in the suicide by cop incident. What's that? How can a cop be involved in the suicide by cop? What does that mean?
Cop killing.
Huh?
Cop trying to cop kill.
Cop doesn't kill himself. Sometimes people want to end their
Right.
lives,
Suicide.
but they don't want to have to do it themselves. And
So
so they
he was
create a
assisted.
situation where a cop has to draw on them. And that's called cop by suicide, or suicide by cop. You get the cop to kill you.
What?
I don't know why they do it. Okay, Another was a trained engineer who ran over and decapitated a suicidal man. Decapitated means cut off
Yeah,
somebody's
his head's
head.
gone.
Who had just been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, who threw himself in front of the train. Now, you need to know what Alzheimer's is to understand. My mom died of Alzheimer's. I know what this disease is like. It's a disease that happens to people of any age, but usually to people in their 70s. And what happens is your brain starts to disintegrate. And you lose your memories. And the last memories that you are left with are your very first memories of being a child. And then when they go, my experience with my mother was that she didn't even know she was a person. By the time she died, she couldn't speak. She couldn't control any of her body functions. She was just there. And what makes it particularly sad for families is you've got to go through a death twice. you go through the death of the person you love's mind, and then you go through the death of their body. It's a terrible, terrible disease. And anybody who gets that diagnosis, I can certainly understand why they would not want to go on living. Yeah,
My grandma has it, and she doesn't even remember my name, she just calls me like Bud for some reason.
no, my mom didn't even know who I was. I told her before she lost the ability to speak that I was her daughter, and she said, nope, can't be, I was never married. End of story, okay? The last
Told you.
time,
As long as she knew that.
the last time I heard her say anything that made any sense was when my sister-in-law had just had a baby, and my brother brought the new grandchild in to see her, and she managed to say cute baby, and that, after that, easy there. So, you would think that they would somehow feel less guilty, but they didn't. Maybe the cops said it was because it brought home how vulnerable, how much at the mercy of unseen forces we all are. As far as I know, no member of the groups ever was an unknowing instrument of a murderer, except me. I did nothing with the information I discovered from the tape. But a month ago, Daria Greeners called me late at night. I've been thinking about you, she said, after apologizing for calling. I somehow feel we have unfinished business. And why is that? I asked carefully. Why is he being careful?
Who? Because he doesn't want her to, hit him with her car.
No, good guess though. He knows something, but he doesn't know if she knows it. What does he know for sure?
If he went push to the father.
Yeah, he knows that Chris pushed the gas on purpose to get him killed. He
Yeah.
doesn't know if Darian knows that. And he doesn't want to say that and tell her something that she doesn't know. How? I really don't know. It was just this impression. After the accident, Chris was never really the same. Were any of us? I remember times when he was drunk, and he was drunk a lot in the end. He kept coming back to one theme. Was it ever justified to kill someone? Stupid stuff about would you go back in time to kill Hitler? Would I kill my husband to protect my children? She sighed and added plaintively, my husband is the kindest, gentlest man in the world. What is Chris getting at when he says that? Would you kill Hitler? If you could, why would anyone wish that Hitler hadn't lived?
So, the Holocaust did
The
happen.
Holocaust
Yeah.
just happened. What's Chris getting at?
He should kill his father.
Did he do the right thing in killing his father? That's what Chris wants to know.
Oh,
Did I do the right thing? If I
Yeah.
killed him, I prevented him from killing other people.
I could just throw that.
I suppose he could, but I think he was trying to save the family from the anguish.
Or maybe the father was trying to kill them and save
For
her.
whatever reason, the best solution that he could come up with was kill the father, yeah.
So since he uses that Hitler reference, doesn't that kind of prove that he knew that his father was?
Oh, absolutely, I agree with you on this. There was a long silence on the line, then I heard, when everything came out about my father, Chris' words gained a different meaning. Shh, I'm not sure I follow, I said, though of course I did. Are you saying that Chris somehow caused your father to fall in front of my car? I don't know what I mean, she wailed. I hope to God that's not what happened. Oh, you had the right to know. Now, should he tell her? That's the next question.
Yes.
I considered what she'd told me, then said, I really appreciate you telling me, and your contacting me has helped me in countless ways, so I'm grateful to you. But I can tell you definitely that your brother did not cause your father's death.
Lies.
Who's lying now?
Her.
I could clearly see them both, and Chris was a good 2 or 3 feet away from him. Your father stumbled. That image is etched in my mind permanently. I heard her crying softly, and then, thank you. Did I do the right thing? I like to think I did, but who knows? The nightmares and my obsessive thoughts about that day have lessened. I don't know, maybe I'm getting better. So, did the narrator do the right thing not telling you
No.
the truth? Why do you say no?
They need to know the truth to go along with their life.
Okay?
Yeah.
Who doesn't agree with Andrew? Why, Memphis?
I mean, they're both already dead, so what's that?
Okay?
It's true.
Would knowing have made Daria, Angel, would knowing have made Daria feel better or worse?
Probably worse at first, but then she come to terms with it in the future.
Is it ever okay to lie?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm hearing both answers.
No, not at my house. I got grounded for 6 months for lying.
Does it
Not
matter?
anymore.
What if you're hiding Jews in the Holocaust and the stop and knock on your door? You have Jews here, and you say, no, and you're hiding them.
Where's the Jews?
That's a lie.
No.
You see what I'm saying? Are lies ever okay?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
When would you say they're okay, David?
When they are okay.
What's your, okay, Grayson?
When they could potentially save somebody's life or reputation.
Okay, if they can potentially cause something better to happen. Okay? Was Chris justified in killing his father?
Yes.
Why do you say that?
I say no because.
Because he prevented a lot more.
Wait, one at a time. Grayson asked the floor, listen to Grayson.
Yes.
Has he prevented more murders from happening?
He prevented more murders from happening. So sometimes murder is okay.
Murder's okay sometimes. I threw my sister off the Grand Canyon because she got upset at me.
Memphis,
I think it would have been better if he just chose his father to
okay?
push him to the street.
Memphis has an opinion that it would have been a better solution if he turned his father in. Why?
No.
Then you don't have to deal with the being traumatized by killing your father.
Okay? And it would have still stopped the murders from happening. However, was there any evidence at that point?
Well,
That we know.
that
He knew of.
I guess he could have not known where the body came, so I don't know.
Could Chris have stumbled across the hiding place of the trophies from the murders?
Possibly.
Could he have stumbled across the disturbing?
How would he know?
Well, you come across a drawer full of other people's things and you wonder.
Exactly, so he would have that.
Or he might have come across the photos.
Exactly, so he'd have evidence.
Yeah, but he didn't think of turning it into the police.
Why would somebody choose to have his father be dead rather than
What?
go through the legal system like you say?
Because
It's
easy. It's easier work and you don't gotta go through the legal process, and if there's not enough evidence, then the father has to go free from murder.
Basically, kind of just got a rush of emotions, and in that moment that they were lost on that sidewalk.
Oh, I got a chance,
Like,
yeah.
flanking or like,
You and then Grayson.
I was thinking
Hey, go.
that he didn't want his family to think that their dad was a murderer, so they just.
So is he protecting the other members of the family? I think you might be onto something. Grayson?
It was easier than having him go through the court system.
So you're kind of
Shorter
in that court. Anybody else have an opinion? Okay, listen, because you got me going on stories, and don't ever do that again.
Stinker.
Stinkers is right.
No, come on, you stinker.
Oh,
That was a pretty good story.
anyway. Oh, it's not the best one I have.
So,
What is it?
how about Monday? You wanna tell us another story?
No,
How-
Monday.
Hear me out. Wednesday.
Monday.
How about Tuesday?
yeah, let's do it Wednesday.
You
Yeah,
know,
Wednesday.
Monday's a makeup day.
So then on Wednesday, we all get to relax, you get to tell a story time.
I tell you what I would do.
I'll
If
bring
you
my
would-
blanket.
If you would work at the same time, I would tell you stories.
Okay, we should.
I can't.
call Monday.
We can try.
Yeah.
We can certainly try.
And I would have my Halloween candy, I promise.
We can
Twix.
still try.
Yeah, you gotta keep the Twix in the mini fridge because they're better when they're cold.
All right, I'll remember
Yes,
that.
they are.
Okay, every other class has turned in their vocab already. You're gonna get it ready to turn in immediately on Monday.
I have it done already.
Anyone else have it done? Thank you, sir. Grab your phones, get your folders, cleaned up and ready to go. Look at this. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Especially. Thank you. Anyone else?
I didn't finish mine.
This is a very old photo of me.
I see that. It's a 1 minute video. So,
Yeah,
we'll have to
see.
try again.
That's why I put mine in the top pocket.
You understand now?
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
You're making a choice.
You're really getting on that. Okay. Yep.
So
You know.
Let's rock or let's
What?